How's it going, everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the 5 things that I dislike about this car. Now, there's small gripes, one major gripe, but one small one. They're all small. I'm going to start off with the number one, which is the one that everyone complains about the most. Number one, tires. These tires, 275s all around, not big enough. They're just not big enough. You need bigger wheels and tires on this car. And for 2018, they fixed that. It's a $7,000 option, but they fixed it. They put a wide body kit and gave you some 13-inch wide rims with wheels on them that are 305s all around. Now, that is pretty damn good. Now, since it's the same body kit, you could potentially squeeze the 315s underneath, which, by all means, definitely need to be done. This car could definitely use 315s. And the achievements that they've gained are, a tenth of a second here, 0.2 of a second there in the quarter mile, maybe 0.3, maybe just forgetting at the moment. But the biggest thing is they around the track, around I think they said 1.6, 1.7 mile course, they beat their previous the standard Hellcat by 2 full seconds. Now, 2 seconds in the race car world is 16 car lengths. I believe that's what they said. And the sad thing is, it took them this long to do it. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that the final production body style year of this car before the new refresh is the year that they decided to do it. I guarantee you that if they'd done it a lot sooner, they would have sold more. Let's say it was the second model year in 16 that they had done it, they would have sold more. I understand that there was a lot of engineering that went into that when they designed it for the Demon, and that's why they carried it over to the Hellcat. They put a lot of money in R&D on that to make it look nice, function well. So it makes sense that, at least for the last year, they would offer it on the car. Now, my second gripe with this, number 2 on my list, is the sunroof. I don't like sunroofs. I really don't. You know what I mean? So, I personally believe, just me, that this car should not have a sunroof. I'm just not a fan of sunroofs. Not that there's anything wrong with it. If you like sunroofs, by all means, order it with a sunroof. But pretty much everyone that I've seen, with the exception of a few, when dealers spec them out and order them for their showrooms, they always order it with a sunroof, which is how I ended up ordering it, getting this one. This one already happened to have it. Now, because it has it, I do drive with the sunroof open, because if I'm going to have it, at least I'll be able to look up at the stars at night or at the blue sky during the day. But I almost never opened it. After nearly 3 months of ownership, I think I've opened the sunroof maybe twice. Maybe. Yeah. Once, maybe twice. That's it. I can't really recall the amount of times. It was less than 5. I don't even think it was 3. It had to have been twice that I've opened the sunroof. So to me, it's just something else that can leak, especially with something this much power and whatnot. Over time, you really want to focus on the rigidity of the car. And if you want to start doing more power and whatnot, like in the new Demon, they actually make that a $5,000 option because they have to reinforce that part of the car. So now, like myself, I intend to build this car. So what happens there? You know what I mean? I guess I might have to do a roll cage. Hopefully not. I really don't want to lose the function of the back seats, especially since this is, like a family car for me. Number 3 on this list, it isn't too bad, but it's a mild nuisance. So the passenger seat, to allow people into the back seat, you just click on a handle on the side, the seat folds down, you push it forward, and it unlocks, and the whole seat slides forward. Now, when you push it back, you've got to put the seat all the way up and then push it back, and it'll lock in its previous position. But with the driver's side, it's power. Well, you think that with the ability to put people in the back seat, you would make the same, lock-unlock mechanism. Unless it's too hard, I don't know. Please, someone tell me no if it's that difficult. But to get my son in the back seat, as you can see, the baby seat's on the rear passenger side. So I've got to fold the driver's side down, crawl in, and place him in. That wouldn't be so bad if, when you undid this latch, you pulled it forward, it unlocked, and slid forward. No. Does not work that way. So I literally have to push and hold the power button, count to 5. Now that's far enough where I can get myself in and out with or without my son, put him in, get back out, put the seat up, put the seat belt back in the little seat belt slot, and then push the back button, count to 5. That's where I found the sweet spot is. Get in, and I adjust forward or back a smidgen here or there. And, that's really it. Like I said, not a big complaint, but for someone that does use this as a family car, then don't let anyone else tell you you can't, because the proof is sleeping in the back right now. You can definitely use this as a family car. And it has all the qualities of one. It's comfortable. You can take it on long distances. The gas mileage, especially on long distances, isn't too bad. You can get a child seat or two in and out of the back relatively easy, and there's plenty of cargo space in the trunk. Plenty. You can carry a ton of stuff. I'm telling you, watch the 5 things I love about this car. The trunk was on that list. All the space. Number 4 on this list is the brake dust. These Brembos, 6-piston in the front, 4 in the rear, they create a lot of brake dust. I'm telling you, a lot. Not as much as the Camaro produced. I had the 2016 Camaro SS. Now that produced brake dust while sitting still. It was that bad. Look up at any of the reviews online. Lethal Camaro and Mojave KY. They both have done a video about the amount of brake dust that that car produces. Just incredible. It's ridiculous. There's just so much brake dust. On the Hellcat, it produces a lot of brake dust. And it's the really tacky kind, from what I've noticed. Not the simple wipe away. You can wipe it away, but I don't know if it's the rim design, the paint or the finish on it that makes it stick to it a little bit more versus to where it's not so smooth and maybe a little bit of textured that it sticks to it a little bit harder. But thankfully it's not as bad as the Camaro, but still pretty bad. But that happens whenever you get into a high performance braking system. You end up with a lot of brake dust. But even if you're not doing a lot of heavy braking, it still produces quite a bit of brake dust. I was very surprised at that. And the rear, not so much, obviously, because it's a smaller contact patch, and you really only do 30% of braking in the rear and 70% from the front. So naturally, you're going to have high brake dust count per square inch from the front. But again, splitting hairs here. Now, the 5th and final thing is the bugs. Like I said, I couldn't think of a 5th thing. I had to talk about bugs. There you go. Bugs on the front end of this car. That's it. A lot of bugs. I have had a Jeep, my SRT8 Grand Cherokee, it collected bugs, but for some reason it feels as though, I don't know if it's the color or the fact that it attracts every bug on the planet, but you go for a ride on the highway and you get done and there are bugs all over the front of this car, and they fly in through the inlets also that you have for the air intake. So you get little bugs in there. You got to make sure I clean them out, and they get stuck on the SRT badge. They get stuck on the little gap in between the headlight and the headlight trim. So you're digging that stuff out, and it's those little buggers, pun intended. They're a mess. They just cause quite the mess, and they're just pain to get out. And as you know, with black paint, that every little blemish, let's go with blemish, shows. Well, that's going to do it for this video, the 5 things that I dislike about the Hellcat. But again, nothing major, nothing to make or break, and the number one biggest gripe they fixed for the final production year, if you order it that way. Am I going to go and trade in? No. I'm going to do a full wide body kit on this car, but that's a video for another day. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching the channel. Please, likes, comments, shares, always appreciated. Subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Any help at the channel would be great. Anything you guys want to see, please let me know. And as always, be well, stay safe.